This is the Republic of Georgia. It is often confused with Georgia the state, but the difference between them is approximately 6,000 miles. Georgia is considered part of Europe while being a mere 100 miles away from Iran. Scholars believe the name Georgia came from a long intercultural game of telephone. To the locals, it is called Sakat Velo. A young couple prepares for their trip to Georgia.
Hopefully they don't notice the stove we're illegally flying with. We'll be fine.
They start in the vibrant capital of Georgia, Tbilisi. Tbilisi has a rich history, with its oldest buildings dating back to the 6th century. Modern architecture stands beside historic buildings, giving the city a beautiful mixture of old and new. The hillside near the fortress resembles what it looked like over 100 years ago. The perfect place for the couple to set up a base camp. There is an abundance of street art in the city. It can be found in underground tunnels as well as the high rises. The art seems to merge with its environment. The couple is exhausted.
Hopefully we don't let ourselves get jet lagged.
They already are, but a burst of caffeine energizes them. To better understand the city, they go to local restaurants, take public transit, visit a market, and see a football game. They enjoy the nightlife so much, they don't film it. Georgia was part of the Soviet Union from 1922 until its collapse. Communist murals, statues, and block apartments. 70 years under the Soviet Union has left its imprint on the city. Even the cars are reminders of the Soviet times. Having spent some time in Tbilisi, the couple travels to the mountains in the northwest. After trains and automobiles, the couple arrives in Mestia. High in the mountains, the town is dotted with dozens of medieval defensive towers, most of which have been standing in this mountain valley for over 1,000 years. Some of the towers can even be climbed. The morning the young couple leaves for their hike, and they have already encountered a problem.
We bought the most natural sunscreen, and it turned out to be brown, so...
We're tan. Tan in like an hour.
At like 6 a.m.
Despite the bronzing, the couple continues with their escort out of town. The trail goes over a pass. It then meanders through several small towns. They take an interest in the locals. And the locals take an interest in the couple.
What are you looking at, buddy? That's my wife! Getting pretty tired.
Finding level ground in the mountains can be challenging, but the couple finds enough to sleep somewhat flat. They may camp and stretch out. If they don't stretch today, those glutes are going to burn tomorrow.
Day 2.
On the hillside, rhododendron are in bloom. Upon reaching the pinnacle, the couple is amazed by the distant glaciers they see.
Unfortunately, they're all melting, but...
The beautiful terrain makes the day go by quickly, and the couple soon reaches the town of Didi. With only 44 inhabitants, the town is smaller than they thought it would be.
It's like definitely smaller than I thought it'd be.
In town, they are rewarded with a large Georgian meal. Georgian food varies by region and tends to be served with a sampling spread across the table. Bread, cheese, tomatoes, soups, and eggs are all common. The female's favourite is an eggplant dish, while the male's is cheesy bread. Sometimes the food can be too much to eat in one sitting.
Our backs are so heavy right now. We just added our 9 pounds of water, 8 pieces of bread, like 4 chunks of cheesy bread, like 6 hard-boiled eggs, and some like cucumbers. So we're kind of excited for lunch.
Loaded up like pack mules, they make their way across the landscape. They hire a local taxi to help with crossing the glacial river. They mentally prepare themselves for the strenuous uphill.
And then watching from home, it'll just be like, hey, they already made it.
They never got tired.
No, they were fine.
The Didi Glacier. The sheer size is humbling, and you can even hear the glacier as it shifts.
It's kind of like that noise that you hear when you're winter camping.
They reach the final ridge.
High point of the trip. Emotionally, physically.
There is truth to that. The time spent on the summit will be the highlight of their whole trip. This part of the trail still has a large amount of snow. The running water carves over deep cavern.
That right there is a massive snow tunnel.
These snow bridges must be crossed to continue on.
Good time of day to cross.
Yeah, excellent.
Another challenge along the trail is a plant called hogweed.
Which is this guy right here.
If skin becomes exposed to the sap of this plant, it loses its ability to protect itself from sunlight.
Forms a grueling blister and bubbles and becomes super terrible.
In springtime, the hogweed is only waist high. In several months, it will be over 10 feet. The female vocalizes her opinion on the matter.
Hogweed, which is my arch nemesis, and I'm genuinely terrified of.
Oh dear. The last day of the trek.
Least fun day.
Definitely our least fun day. Hogweed, lots of unexpected uphill. Dog attack was pretty traumatizing. We're ready to get there and finish this trek.
And finish it they do.
Made it.
Made it to Tbilisi.
Excited to get cold soda. We're not gonna have a beer.
Having finished their trek, the couple heads to the coast of the Black Sea. Most of the coastline is made up of pebbles, but this area has a dark magnetic sand.
Woo!
They make the most of their beach day.
We slept in, wandered out to get ice cream, and now we're writing postcards.
Some believe this magnetic zone has healing properties.
The healing has begun. We'll see what happens.
The next destination is the historic site of Vardzia. In the 12th century, this monastery was carved into the side of the mountain. Over 200 rooms, 8 levels, and tunnels to connect them, all created one chisel at a time. This city once had as many as 6,000 inhabitants. Bats are now the occupants of these empty rooms. With a pharmacy, a bakery, and wine cellars, this was a self-sufficient city. It's estimated that 70% of the site was destroyed in an earthquake 800 years ago. One can only imagine what it looked like at its peak. In the east is the town of Lagodeki. In the national park there is horseback riding, waterfall hikes, and you can even gather wild berries. In the heart of Georgia's wine region is Sighnaghi, a quiet town that overlooks the surrounding vineyards. 8,000 years ago, Georgians were the first people to turn grape juice into wine. Their traditional method ferments the wine in a clay vessel that is buried underground. Here, a wine connoisseur might enjoy wine tastings, wine making, wine barrels, wine bottles, wine going into bottles, wine coming out of bottles, wine that isn't wine yet, and wine counting.
What number glass is this for you today?
But they weren't all glasses.
The couple heads to the mountains again for a final trek. The road to Mallow is only open during the summer months. The switchbacks have dozens of grave markers, reminding passengers of the hazards of the road. Even out here, you can't escape a traffic jam. The couple reaches Amala safely and starts another hike.
Trek number 2.
Day 1.
Day 1.
This region is much less populated, with many of its inhabitants making a living as zippers. When building here, the locals utilized the abundance of slate in the area. Slate is used for the walls, floors, stairs, and even roofs. Also, structures seem to have a knack for being very high up on the hillsides.
Day 2.
There's like no trees around, it's really hard to find shade.
The female discovers something along the trail.
My new buff!
Nice.
Trail booty!
And then a second discovery.
Trail booty and a skull. Put it on top of my pack, we'll bring it with.
Due to its proximity to Russia, you must get permits from border guards to hike this section.
Just got back from the border guards.
We're official.
He's like, Thomas!
Thomas!
I'm like, where is Thomas? And why doesn't he get his over here? We realized I was Thomas.
We were Thomas. Day 3.
They pass by the remains of a medieval town. The legacy of a community that once was. Along the trail, they stop for sustenance.
So we had some gummy worms in the top of the pack, and it's really a different consistency.
So it's more of a packet situation. Oh yeah!
Well, we got a hot tip on a shortcut from a Polish couple, and then was confirmed with one of the shepherds we ran into. So we're taking this other route. Hopefully everything goes okay and we don't have to backtrack or anything.
The hot day causes the rivers to swell with snowmelt. The couple reaches a crossing that they don't believe is safe.
Planned on crossing this in the morning when it's much, much smaller and manageable.
A passing by shepherd persuades them to cross. They make camp and prepare for the following day's mountain pass.
It's been an insane day. And we have a summit tomorrow, a mountain pass.
Tomorrow will be just as normal.
It's breakfast in bed, and it's ascent morning.
Day 4, and the couple is being followed by local dogs.
They just keep barking, keep following us.
The dogs in this area are known to be protective of their flocks.
Hiking in Tusheti. Dogs chasing you for like an hour. We just don't want to get bit.
Dogs are still with us. Barking. A lot of uphill, not a lot of breaks.
Well, I think we officially ditched them, and we probably hiked a lot faster than we would have if we didn't have dogs herding us along.
As the incline gets steeper, the male refuses to look down. Finally, they reach the top. The descent, with drop-offs, loose rock, and snow crossings. This trail is not for the faint of heart.
This is definitely the scariest part. We made it back to the flat areas.
We finished the mountain pass.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. But yeah, actually it was really sketchy and really scary, and I think I was already like, would I do this again? I don't know.
Check back in 3 months, Jeff.
Yeah, that's true though. But we're safe and sound. Down to the river.
They make it to camp.
You can tell we're at camp because there's actually like a little camp sign.
Like so official.
Well, we're safe and sound, but yeah, there's like a thunderstorm coming, so.
We started hearing some big thunder and now it started raining.
It's not a honeymoon without lightning position.
It is so windy. We have guy lines up, but like our tent is caving in.
Yeah, this is like...
So we are each holding up a pole from where the headwind is. Day 5.
Day 5, and...
It's like out in Purple Day.
As they near the end of their hike, they begin to see the signs of civilization.
We found an enterprising farmer here.
Georgia is one of 7 countries where recreational marijuana is legal. The Alnitori burial tombs. This has a fascinating story that you can read on Google.
Made it to Shtili,
Shatili!
the fortress city. After a long, arduous journey, we are ready to rest and relax.
I think Christine said she's gonna have a beer.
I am. I'm having a beer, and I'm making Chuck have one with me.
Yeah, we're totally gonna have some beers.
They spend the night in a fortress once under siege. Photographs from the past bring history to life.
Last day in Georgia.
Last day in Georgia.
How do you feel?
A little sad.
Yeah.
It's hilarious that we're getting bored on our last night in country, but it never happened in the mountains. Last morning.
Last morning.
Headed to the airport.
I'm tired.
Tired. It was a good trip.
Yeah, it was a good trip.
A little sad. See you home, Tiny.
Once the couple is able to save up enough money, they will travel again. If you do travel to Georgia, maybe stop for a day in Istanbul.